If you know me very well, you've probably heard me swear over my father's name. Niba uri umuntu w'inshuti yanjye uzakunda kumva kenshi nirahira ni njye Jolly mwene Serwiri. Reason being, I have a very close attachment and bond with my late father, though I never had the privilege to get to know him because he passed away when I was 6 months old. But honestly, this man has lived with us. He has lived on because of his legacy. And when I get to hear his stories from my mom, siblings, extended family members, or even his friends, when they speak of how dedicated he was, how principled he was, how empathetic, and the defender he was, especially to Rwandans who lived in exile in Uganda. As an avid reader, the stories of him remind me of the protagonist in Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe called Okonkwo. If you've read this book, Okonkwo was a renowned wrestler, was a warrior. He was a very successful farmer of yams. He was self-made and respected in the Umofia village. And to me, that is how I visualize my father, especially that I never got the luxury to get to know him. For me, the values and the traits of Okonkwo, to me, they reflect who my father was. And one of the biggest compliments I've ever received from my mom is when one day she looked straight into my eyes and told me that, Jolly, when I look at you, you remind me of your father. You're just exactly your father's daughter. And just through the similarities of our mannerisms. And to me, that sunk so deep. And I bet she never realized how that was very impactful to my life, because it was then that I was very keen to want to merit being my father's daughter, because I realized that in his absentia, his next generation is going to be passed through me. So I felt the need to merit being my father's daughter, and meriting being my father's daughter can only be done through one thing, and that is living purposefully, living a purpose-driven life, so that I can carry and consolidate his legacy and pass it on to his next generation, and those are his grandkids. Speaking of this story, I am not oblivious of our country's history of the 1994 genocide that was perpetrated against the Tutsi, that wiped out almost so many families, that left so many orphans behind that never had the luxury to get to know their parents. Speaking of this story, I am not trying to project the holier-than-thou attitude. The essence of this story is to encourage every young person to always try and merit every opportunities that come their way. If you've gotten the luxury to have parents who have set a foundation for your future, please merit that opportunity, because it's not all young people that have gotten the luxury to have parents set for them a foundation for the future. If you've gotten a luxury to find a job, please merit that job opportunity, because it's not every young person that has gotten the luxury to find a job. We have very many jobless people outside here. If you've gotten an opportunity to have friends who speak your name in a room full of opportunities, please merit being a good friend. Be that friend that they are to you, because it's not all the time that we get the luxury, to have friends that speak highly of us in rooms of opportunities, that want us to live to our fullest potential. If somebody trusts you, please merit that trust. It is not all the time that we get people who trust us. If you find love, please merit that opportunity, because it's not all the time that we have people that do love us genuinely. I know we can do better. It is very important to always merit opportunities. If you find a seat at a high table, please merit that opportunity. It is not every young person who gets an opportunity to have a seat at a high table. So I know we can do better. Speaking of that myself, I am no saint. I'm constantly learning to merit each and every opportunity that does come my way, because we all know that opportunity knocks once to every man's door. Have a great week. I am Mutesi.